I want to paint a scenario, and I need you to just understand this scenario I want to paint. Let it just reflect in your mind right now. Now, the scenario I want to paint is about a certain shepherd boy, age about 16 or 17, very, very ruddy, red cheeks and everything. Now, don't keep asking me how I knew. It's just impression I have here. So I want to pass that impression across to you. Now, this shepherd boy was out in the field while his other brothers were carrying out other chores, and he happened to be probably the youngest in his house, in his household. Now, at that age, he was left out in the field, right there, tending for sheep in the wilderness or wherever, and looking after the sheep. Now, when every other person was in the comfort of their homes or wherever they were, now this kid was always on his own there, alone. Now, he was not with any other person but wildlife and with his sheep. And now imagine that kid at that age, bears came to attack his sheep. And this child was able to rescue his sheep from the mouth of bears. Bears, ha! I don't know if you understand what bears really are. And when we talk about the fierce mother bears or whatever coming to attack his sheep and to steal his sheep and eat his sheep. Now imagine a 17-year-old kid being able to rescue his sheep from the hands of a bear, a ravaging bear, a marauding bear, a 17-year-old. I don't think in the next 20 years, in addition to my age, I'll ever be able to confront a bear face to face without ammunition. Maybe probably just a sling. And this child was able to defend his sheep from a marauding bear or marauding bears that came to consume the sheep. Now, it didn't just end there. Imagine this scenario of a 17-year-old lions coming to attack his sheep. Lions. That would be a whole full-blown program for us to discuss the characteristics of a lion. And I don't even need to explain that to some of us. We all know what the lion is. How could a 17-year-old be able to rescue his sheep from the mouth of fierce bears and very fierce marauding lions? How is that even possible? But of course, this was very possible according to scripture. I'm talking about King David. Now, that's a scenario I've been able to paint, I've been trying to paint in your mind. Imagine David being able to rescue his sheep alone. We didn't hear he called for help. We didn't hear he seeked help from anywhere. But on his own, a 17-year-old, without modern ammunition, without sword or spears, able to protect his sheep. Now, this same king, this same child later became the king of Israel and faced fierce battles throughout his reign as a king in Israel. Does that tell us something that some of us that have been facing very fierce battles at a very early age? Some of us, let me speak, let me go down pitching a bit. Some of us, life began show us pepper from early age. There are some of us that life began to deal with at a very early stage. Yeah, some of you, life didn't pan out well for you very early. You started suffering early. Things that your age mates didn't go through, you started seeing them at a very early stage. You were exposed to things that people of that age, it wasn't normal for them to be exposed to such things. Some persons, their life panned out well, and that's why I often tell people, please don't use don't use someone else's step 3 to compare with your own step 3. Some persons had it easy. Some persons, their own lives moved smoothly. For all of us who life taught lessons at a very early age, let's gather here. There's a meeting here right now because some of us saw pepper very early. But do you know that life taught some of us very early lessons to prepare us for what we are facing now and what some of us are going to become in the future? With the benefit of retrospect, do you know that if life had not dealt with some of us very early, some of us would not have survived today? Some of us would not have been able to face and overcome some of the obstacles we are facing today and we have overcome today. Some of us would not have been prepared for it, but life, through those hardships we faced very early, started preparing us early for the kind of things we're facing today. We've been victorious over a lot of obstacles now by the grace of the Lord. And also by the kind of training God exposed us to very early. But at that stage, we didn't see it as training. At that stage, everything was against us. As a matter of fact, we even thought that God was against us too. But God, who sees the future, was using that as a preparatory stage because he saw the greatness in us. And he knew what some of us were going to become. And that's why he started teaching us lessons very early. Moral lesson. For some of us who have been facing things early, God prepared you early. For some of you facing things right now, good news for you. It means you still have a long life ahead of you. And maybe God is trying to prepare you for the next stage of life he wants to expose you to. That is wrapped with a lot of goodness and greatness. But he feels he needs to prepare you very, very well. So are you watching this video now and you're going through the valley of the shadow of death? Omo, I beg, hold on, no. It means you're still going to live very long. And it means your lifting and promotion from stage to stage is not yet over. It means you still have stages you're going to go through in life. King's Lodge, normal Loma here, man, just trying to make sense and give someone out there a reason to stay alive and a purpose for living. Thank you.